As we told you about, Baltimore Ravens defensive tackle Haloti Ngata has been suspended by the NFL for the next 4 games for violating the league's policy on performance-enhancing substances. Ngata released a statement saying he took Adderall and he takes full responsibility for the suspension. The Pro Bowl defensive tackle will miss the rest of the regular season. So let's take a look at the Ravens' schedule. They are on the road at Miami this weekend, followed by the Jags, at Texans, and then the Browns. Ravens right now are 7-5 in the playoff hunt. So Ngata would be eligible to return if, in fact, the Ravens made the playoff. So how big of a loss is this for the Ravens, Stephen A?
I think it's a devastating loss. Anytime you've got somebody that massive on your defensive line, that certainly helps you clog up the run. And obviously, even though Baltimore has had its times during this year where their defense didn't play up to snuff, clearly losing somebody of his mass, his size, his girth, his experience, his durability is a blow. I mean, it's 5 games that this guy has missed in his entire career, Skip, since he's arrived in 2006. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, this is the last thing that the Baltimore Ravens needed, to be quite honest with you. And let me say this. I mean, I understand he takes responsibility, and, of course, we're the land of second chances. But this kind of stuff is just inexcusable. I mean, to put yourself in a position at this juncture to do that to this team with all that it has been through, how could you? I mean, I'm not going to blast him, all right? He can look in the mirror and do that himself. We know him. He's, famous or infamous or whatever because he's the reason why RG3 only has 1 leg in a lot of our eyes after that hit, after RG3, got his leg slammed into this guy's body a couple of years back. But how could you? I mean, to know that your team is vying for the playoffs, to know all the stuff that the team had to go through with Ray Rice, to know what this organization is about, to put yourself in this position. I mean, Adderall, it's about focus. It's about alertness. I guess it's like a low-graded speed or whatever the case may be. It gives you a slight upper, a slight high, whatever you want to call it. But, my God, I mean, you couldn't survive without it? Really? Really? Man, go ahead, man. Let's go.
Obviously, it's literally a big loss because he is their Vince Wilfork, their anchor, their defensive line. I still think the Ravens can survive this. I think they can still make the playoffs. Again, this is dicey to win at Miami, but I think they have a shot. And then Jaguars at Texans, and then Cleveland probably will be out of it. They might have to deal with Johnny Manziel.
You never know.
But again, I think they can be okay, and then he would return for the playoffs. But now back to your bigger picture point. I am so with you on this. Adderall has become the performance-enhancing drug of choice, if you will, in the National Football League. There were 8 suspensions in 2012 alone. So they will bust you for using this stimulant, as you refer to it. It is for hyper-focus. It's the college kids use it to stay awake all night, study for a test, or just to stay awake all night, period. And you're right. What do you really need that for? Why would you risk your whole team's playoff chances just to use Adderall? Now, he did divulge and disclose it because I think he would want people to know, I didn't use steroids, I didn't use HGH, I just used a hyperstimulant.
You didn't need it.
It is like speed. It's the equivalent of speed. You didn't need it. And you didn't need to put your team in this much jeopardy this late in the year. And the message to other NFL players is you can't beat the system, man. I mean, they are busting you. They're really good at catching Adderall. They might not be great at catching some, designer steroids or some forms of HGH or whatever, but they can get you on Adderall.
And for the argument, just to educate a lot of folks out there, because it's almost like, not almost, but when I bring up the weed and how you have to stay off of it, you have so many ignorant folks out there in the world that say, hey, it's legal in a couple of states, and, for medicinal purposes, you can use it in other states or whatever the case may be. It's illegal in the NFL. If it's illegal in the league that employs you and you sign on to accept a check from said league, then that means you're not allowed to do it. Period. And unfortunately, and see, that's where I just lose it with these guys, because it's like, you know, they'll talk about their livelihood. They'll talk about, you know, the sport, how much money, what the richness, the wealth that it brings us, and how it enables us to take care of our families, and blah, 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 blah. And then you go and you jeopardize. I'm sorry, Skip, did you hear anything about Haloti Ngata losing his job?
No.
Was there any threat to that whatsoever? I don't think so. I don't think he had to worry. I don't think this 330-pound man clogging the middle on the defensive line for the Baltimore Ravens had to worry about his job security, to my knowledge. And so, really, why? For what? Now, you're apologizing to your family, you're apologizing to Ravens, you're apologizing. You left them hanging. So it's unfortunate, man. So fortunate.
Statement from Ravens General Manager and Executive Vice President Ozzie Newsome says this is extremely disappointing, but we believe Haloti Ngata is even more disappointed in himself.